Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be doing one last rank 1 clear on Shenmon the Fairy Dragon. This video is after they nerfed the boss to make it harder. I told you guys I'd be doing a clear without Reberta, so this is going to be the no Reberta rank 1 clear. Other than that, it's using pretty much the classic units that you use for rank 1 stuff. So let's turn on all the modifiers and we'll get into it. At this point, I'm a little bit tired of this boss. I've run him like 9 times or something. So, yeah. We're just going to get through it relatively quickly and then I'll show the gear. And that'll be the end of this Clash of Wills. And hopefully the next one they don't change in the middle of the event. So we're going to start Chao in the shift form and then bring him to the base. We're going to use the usual stuff: Protector, True Guardian, and Focused. We're going to have Sky do her shifted LB on turn 1. Kaito will, in the shift form, infuse himself deep and destabilizing. We'll triple Stardust with Esther. Bulwark can chirrup and morale fill, or mixtape. And then we will stimulant with Crescent. Alright, so Esther is going to take one of the cruel phase, and she's going to guts it. The rest of the party should be fine. So the boss says nothing, so we don't have to worry about the Simon Says thing this turn. Yeah, turn 1's pretty painful with this clear. Just make sure anyone that's dying on turn 1 has guts, and you'll be fine. The rest of the fight will be no problem. All right. So Chao doing the usual counter thing. I actually changed Chao's gear a little bit where he's less counter and more bulk. That should be fine. Well, LB Chao, we're going to have Kresnik Arcane Antioxidant. Kaito to the base form where he's going to Receding, Swelling, and Cascading. LB Sky again. Esther will also LB. And Bulwark will Chirrup. We're going to Jaunty Jubilee on Chao to morale fill him. I'm sorry, to mitigate him and mixtape. This is going to make it super safe on Chao by giving him 85% physical mitigation for the next 2 turns. That'll mean Chao will be no risk whatsoever of dying. Okay, so here is the stuff. Chao is Omni covering it with 85% mitigation, so yeah, no problem here. And this clear is pretty flexible as well. You can swap out some units, you know, mix and match as you desire. So we're Omni covering, we're countering a lot, you know, the usual stuff. So we'll be here for just a moment as we counter. Hopefully pretty soon they like give us a better tank than Chao, because it's a little tiresome using Chao on all the best clears, but he really is like insanely overpowered, so that's why he's used constantly. And this is a big reason why. Like, filling the morale gauge just by himself is completely insane. It completely negates the whole morale mechanic by using Chao. But we're doing it. Okay, so Chao is going to provoke and then morale and morale fill. We'll LB Kresnik once his auto casting finishes. Come on, Kresnik. Alright, we'll LB Sky as well while we wait for Kresnik. There's Kresnik's LB. Esther can go to the shift form. We'll just triple Shatterbolt to fill morale, which is massive overkill, but, you know, whatever. We're going to shift Kaito and do Destabilizing Deep, just some whatever stuff. And then Bulwark will Chirrup, Mixtape, and we're going to do Glee and Gusto. That's going to be magic mitigation, because Chao's magic mitigation does have gaps in its uptime. So there's the morale gauge maxed out on turn 3, but we're actually bursting on turn 6. Truth be told, this team could very easily do a turn 5 burst and shorten the clear, but I just kind of took one of my old clears and very slightly modified it to make this new one without Reberta. Yeah, like I was telling you guys, like there's no unit that is just required for a clear. Every single unit can be replaced, so you know the non-Reberta clear is just basically the other clear without Reberta. That's all there is to it. Same thing for my other clears. Like, you know, if there's like one unit you don't have, just replace them. Just put somebody else in. You know, it's not that big a deal. we've done clears without every single unit at this point for rank 1. Alright, so turn 4 is the Cruel Fey turn, but now that morale is filled, we don't really care anymore. We're going to go ahead and cover and double morale fill with Chow. Esther will just triple Shatter Bolt again. Sky will go to the base form, where we're going to Magnus and hit the boss twice. Kaito in the shift form is going to... Whoops, not that. Is going to Deadly, Natural, and Man of Few Words. Bulwark can just do basically the same thing. Morale, Mixtape, Glee, and Gusto. Kind of like whatever. We're going to do the LB of Kresnik this turn, so we auto-cast Healing for Phase 2, make it a little bit easier. Okay. So here is the Cruel Phase. Now that we've got mitigations completely up, all that, the boss doesn't have an attack buff, the Cruel Fey is basically whatever. Hits Esther pretty hard, because Esther's Spirit is terrible, but, you know, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Alright, so turn 5 is the gap I was talking about in Chow's big mitigation, so he's going to definitely take more damage than usual, so we're just going to guard him. We're not going to waste another charge of the Bulwark Magnus, because we're going to use that in Phase 2. We'll just guard Chow. We can also do the big defense and spirit buff, just to be completely safe. Let's go ahead and go to the base form with Esther. We'll get ready for that burst with Calm double bolting. Go to the base form with Kaito. Get ready for that burst with Torrential, Magnus, and Cascade. Sky can Tivist. Get ready for that burst. Bulwark can do an LB. Now, the reason we're doing an LB with Bulwark, we need to shift the boss out of this defense and spirit phase. So by doing an LB, that'll do it. We need to cure imperils too, so we're going to potion, we're going to antioxidant, and we'll just supplement with Kresnik. Okay, so this turn, like I said, we do have very low mitigation on Chow. We got 50 from Bulwark. It should be totally fine, to be honest here. Yeah, he's guarding. Yeah, okay, so maybe I was a little bit paranoid, but, you know, your Chow may not be as well geared. So there it is. Okay. So let's do the burst. So this time we're not going to die on the threshold. We are going to start at low health. So we'll just use some skills with Chow and all that to get ready for the next phase instead. Alright. Some counterings. We'll be here for a second or two while Chow counters. Once he calms down, we will resume our damage stuff. We're going to get the chain count score with Bulwark and Kresnik, by the way. Blue wave and all that goodness. I'm tired. It's too early in the morning to be on Clash of Wills. Alright. Let's go ahead and refresh Provoke and then just morale fill again. Esther LB. Kaito shifted LB. Sky shifted LB. Alright. And for chain count score, we'll just triple Chocophony with Bulwark, and Kresnik will just blue wave. We attack and magic buff. And there we go, we'll just send everybody at once. And this should be 2.5 or better. It's not going to be like a huge overkill, but it should very comfortably do it. Yeah, 2.98, basically 3. So we're fine there. As long as you have Kaito on the team, the damage requirement is a joke. If you don't have Kaito, the damage is quite harder. But, you know, this clear we're using Kaito. Anyway, so we didn't die, but we do have all our... we are fully debuffed and all that, which is kind of sucky. We're going to go ahead and Omni cover on this turn with Chow, because it is a physical turn. And we're going to use Bulwark to morale fill, Mixtape, and we'll Jaunty on Chow. That's going to give him 85% physical mitigation, so that he doesn't take a ton of damage from this, this attack. We will go ahead and Sharp Spear and whatever with you. We will reduce the boss's buffs. We will Natural Flux for the Imperil, and we will Deep Submersion with Kaito. Let's see. Esther will triple Stardust to get rid of the Mirage stacks, and Kresnik will triple Curager. I forgot to give Kresnik mod boost items for Curager, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Whatever. Yeah, he's only doing 35 plunder because I didn't give Kresnik any Curator mod boost items. Whoops. Whatever. Anyway, so here is the physical stuff on Chow. It's not super bad. As you can see, 85% mitigation is kind of whatever. Taking some hits, but he's got 20,000 HP after the healing we did, so it's kind of whatever. Anyway, so because we did an LB on that turn, the boss is now back in his defense bulk mode, so we can't really burst this turn, so we're going to just get set up for bursting next turn instead. And we're going to use Bulwark to use an LB this turn. That way we, by Bulwark using an LB, it'll force the boss to go back into no defense buff for next turn, so we can burst and finish him off. Alright, so this is the Cruel Fey turn. We're going to go ahead and LB on Bulwark to shift the boss phases. We'll shift Sky. We'll do her in a second. We'll go to the base form with Kaito, where we will Downpour, we will imbue the party, and we will Cascading or Infusion himself for the big amp. Let's see. Esther will Magnus and double bolting. Sky will triple bolting in the shift form. It's very important. This turn, Sky can put up Provoke, True Guardian, and Focused Inspiration. You know, the usual stuff. Let's see. Kresnik can... Let's AoE re-raise just to be safe. So we're going to AoE re-raise, we're going to Potion, and we're going to Remedy. Let's see here. This is the Cruel Fey turn, so we will Resilient Will. Let's go ahead and Discerning Will. Let's go ahead and Resurging Will. And let's go ahead and Resounding Will. And we will chain up these two to get a little bit of bonus damage in, because the boss currently does have a defensive spirit buff. There we go, did 8%. That way it'll be the finish off burst will be a little bit easier next turn. So here's the Cruel Fey. It shouldn't really be too big of a deal right here. Yeah, it's, you know, it hits Esther and Kaito a little bit hard because they are mostly in DPS gear, but whatever. And some physical damage on Chow. A little bit painful, but we still have the 85% physical mitigation from Bulwark's Magnus. So at that point, you know, it's fine. Alright, some counterattacks. We do still have the healing debuffs, so the counters aren't really healing very much health, but whatever. The fight's over. And just in case you can't finish the fight off on turn 10, I'll show you briefly what to do. So if you can't finish the fight on turn 10, you would cover and then just morale fill for barriers and all that. And then that'll give you another entire turn of, you know, damage. Anyway, we're going to LB Sky. We're going to shift the LB Kresnik. Oh my god, what is this guy's name? Kaito. And we're going to base form LB Esther. Let's put up the defense, or the attack and magic buff, and that should be the end of the fight. And again, if it's not, recovering, it's a magic turn, recovering magic with Chow, so we would just cover the magic and go again. Okay, perfect score. Rank 1. Without Reberta, after the nerf. And I'll show you the gear briefly, but this is like just very similar to the previous runs. There we go, perfect score, rank 1. And here's the breakdown. You know, Sky overpowered. Hopefully they power creep her soon, because I'm tired of using Sky. Other than that, you know, whatever. And I'm done farming. Okay, so I'll just briefly go over the gear. We're not going to spend too long going over the gear. You've seen it all before. It's just the very classic stuff. So Chow in the base form is countering. I did swap out Cypher's coat for a little bit more bulk with the armor, so there it is. Shift form is just some auto buffing, and I gave him some support chain stuff just in case we never used it, so whatever. Kresnik base form, just whatever. Blue wave, the only important thing. Oh, he does have modifier boost gear for... Oh, he's got 1 mod boost gear, not 2 for Curator. Oh well. And then here's the shift form. You know, just whatever. 50% or better evasion, FYI. Bulwark, 50% or better evasion. I gave him a water weapon just so he can support chain. Shift form, identical. I left materials empty. Whoops. Oh well, didn't matter. Esther, base form, damage with guts. Guts is very important. We're getting that from Lucid Lenses. Shift form is, whoopsie, completely and utterly naked. I didn't realize that. My bad. It didn't really matter. Whatever. Kaito, base form is just some bulk and whatever. Shift form is LB damage versus Fairy and Dragon. It's Sky, base form, kind of whatever. Some auto casting type is a Spirit. Shift form is LB damage versus Fairy and Dragon. And that is the clear. Okay. Probably my last clear on Shenmon. I've run him so many times at this point, a little bit tired of the boss. Anyway, there it is. Hope it helps. Get your rank 1 before it closes on Wednesday. Later.